Hey guys, it's Ryan and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So in this one, I'm going to go through our exact system on how we consistently generate six figures in commission for our clients on a regular basis. So first off, and this is your foundation, it is your online presence, it's your website, it's how people find you, and it's creating the first impression that actually matters. So a lot of agents, most agents look at their website as an online brochure, a piece of traditional media that's a kind of must have, but not really something that moves the needle forward and not really something that can consistently bring in leads, qualified buyers and sellers, and not something that really does a whole lot for the business. And this is completely false. So the way we look at the website is it is the cornerstone piece. It is the foundation of the pyramid. It is the first impression people have of you, and it is your chance to come across as the agent that you are in person. So what this means for you is when people stumble upon your website, however that may be, that is your 7-second window to make the best possible first impression, the same as you would in person. And if your online presence doesn't match the skill, the acumen, and the prestige that you do display in person, well, then it's a very jarring mismatch. And this is often why luxury agents do not bring in a consistent flow of leads online. Most of their business runs on referral, word of mouth, and repeat business. They don't have a sales problem. They don't have a communication problem. They have a discoverability problem. They are not opening themselves up to new clients. They are not being discovered by new networks. And for each client that comes in, you're opening their entire network for referrals, word of mouth, repeat business, and a potential lifetime customer. Some of our agents have sold the same house 3, 4, and 5 times, collecting commission each and every time. So next is SEO. That is your visibility. That is how people find you and where you are showing up and for who you are showing up for. So in order to show up for the right people, you need to have a strategy. Not showing up for homes in California and trying to beat Zillow and Redfin, because let's face it, that's impossible. These are gigantic corporations with large, gigantic networks, and it would be a lifetime of work and a massive team to be outranking them for these very bottom of funnel short keywords. Homes in LA, homes in Miami. It's really not going to happen. So what we do instead is we get inside of the mind of your clients, their demographic, their psychographic, what they're doing on a day-to-day, what they're searching for, and what their real buying and selling considerations are, what they're looking for in an agent. The type of content that we make, it is an absolute must. It is a necessity to position you as a local trusted expert, a subject matter expert, someone who knows the game and someone who has access to exclusive info and a curator of sorts, a finder of hidden gems. And that is the positioning, that is the frame that we take with the content that we post for our clients. It's not generic, it's finding hidden gems, it's positioning you as the grand master of the area, it's positioning you as someone who knows the lay of the land deeply at its core. With that, we open you up to very specific, very niche buyers who otherwise wouldn't have found you. And with that, like I've said before, we open you up to their network and often a lifetime client. And then running in parallel to SEO is your Google Ads. You can think of Google Ads as SEO, that is pay to play. How much visibility you get is going to be dependent on your budget. Now, we use Google Ads in a more non-conventional way than the likes of e-commerce or any sort of other service-based business or even a physical goods business, because with luxury real estate, you do have to approach it with the luxury mindset, with that nuanced approach. And what that means is you're not having someone add to cart and purchase on the site and tracking conversions that way. That is simply not how it works. What you are doing is you are positioning yourself in front of the right buyers and sellers and bringing them into your ecosystem. You're collecting name, email, phone number, and then you're deploying light but very impactful touch points over 6, 12, or 18 months until that person is ready to make a decision. What we can't do is we can't create buyers or sellers out of thin air. But what we can do is speak to the buyers and sellers that are already out there and looking to buy or sell properties in the areas you already cover. These people are already out there and we are just not showing up to them. Like I said, we're not creating these people out of thin air. These people are out there already. These people are plentiful. We just need to position ourselves as better than the rest, not the same as every other agent, and then bring them into our ecosystem, bring them into our world, and that's where you take over. That is what you've been doing for years now, but the amount of opportunities that you get, the amount of chances that you get to show off your skills, your acumen, your sales skills, your communication skills, how much you actually care and how much you know about the properties and areas that you are selling in has been limited to who can find you. So that is the problem we solve. We solve the first half of the equation and you are already solving the second half. That is something that you've already proved yourself in. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So you have already solved for X, and all we do is bring in that first part of the equation. So what does this look like in real life? So we had a client, Arthur Goodrich, a Sotheby's International Realty agent in Napa and Sonoma. And within the first 90 days of working with us, Arthur brought in 3 new listings, a total of $12 million in inventory value, and received a financially qualified inquiry for a $15 million listing. And to round it all off, he sold a $2.2 million property, netting himself a 10x return on his investment with us so far. So if you found any of this helpful, if this sounds like something that might help you in your business, go ahead and book a call below with one of our team. I'll be happy to see if we can help you and how exactly that would look for you. If not, and if you're not quite there yet, be sure to subscribe because we're going to be dropping a ton of content specifically for luxury real estate agents and how to generate more commission by being more visible to the right people at the right time online.